Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Two Bob's Adventures. Today we are here at beautiful Snake Road near Wolf Lake, Illinois, and we're gonna do something a little different today. We're gonna do this more like a virtual field trip. Myself and Mrs. Ellis, we both teach first grade, so this is gonna be kind of geared towards that age group, the first graders, 6, 7, 8 years old. So we're just gonna walk the road today. It is about 63 degrees, about 10 o'clock in the morning, so hopefully it'll warm up a little bit throughout the day, and we're just going to show you what we see. Even if we don't see any snakes, it should be a beautiful day. This road is the only one in the nation. They call it Snake Road. The snakes are migrating right now from the swamp over to the cliffs to hibernate for the winter. So they close the road to vehicle traffic just to make sure nobody runs over the snakes as they're migrating. So we're going to see what we can see today. So we're just starting out down the road, and this is what it looks like. It's just an old gravel road through the forest. As I mentioned earlier, the snakes during the fall migration, which is what we're in now, they're coming from the swamp. We'll show the swamp a little later, and coming up into the bluffs over here to hibernate for the winter. So what they do a lot of times on their way, they will lay on the road and soak up that heat and, wait to ambush some prey and have something to eat. So in the spring, it's the opposite. A lot of times they're coming out of the bluffs and heading back into the swamp. We're actually, today is like October 20th, I believe. So we're coming up on the end of the migration. So I don't know how good it will be today. I still expect to see some snakes. Mostly what we see out here, by far the biggest number of snakes, is the cottonmouth. So I'm sure we'll see some of those throughout the day. They should still be active. Other than that, I'm not sure what we'll come across, but whatever it is, we'll be sure and show you. All right, guys, we came across the first snake of the day. A beautiful little rough green. I love these guys. They're very timid and shy, but they sure are pretty. Love that color. So good. Beautiful first snake. So they're non-venomous, and again, won't hurt you. They just want to get away from you. I want you to leave them alone. But they are one of the prettiest snakes that you will see out here. Mrs. Ellis almost stepped on that one, didn't you? How was that? Did it scare you? Yeah, I heard her scream, so that's how I knew that we found a snake. So, beautiful little guy. A rough green. Okay, guys, we have another snake here, really tiny. I don't even know if we'll be able to see it. Well, there you can kind of see him. That's the tail. He's hiding. Very good camouflage. All right, our first cottonmouth of the day. These are venomous. Out here on Snake Road, you're not allowed to harass any of the snakes or handle them or pick them up. It's against federal law. But this is one, even if it wasn't illegal, you do not want to mess with this guy. Like I said, they don't want to hurt you, but they will protect themselves if they feel threatened. So, leave them alone. Not only is it the law, it's just a good idea. So you can see the pattern on him. They will lose that pattern a lot of times as they get bigger. He's just medium prey, juvenile. But as they get bigger, a lot of times they'll get almost solid black. But he's going to hide. Tired of me messing with him. All right, another cottonmouth heading to the bluffs. He's just sitting here chilling, not bothering anybody. Once again, you don't bother them, they will not bother you. Just always make sure, if you do see them, leave them enough room to escape. If they can escape, that's the first thing they want to do. They don't want to come after you. They don't want to attack you. They're not going to chase you. But again, if they feel cornered, they will protect themselves, just like you would if somebody was coming after you. So, I'm not getting real close to him, but I do have to go around him on the trail. So, I'm just going to be nice and easy. Give him plenty of room. Not going to bother him. And we're just going to let him do his thing. there's more than snakes on Snake Road. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, guys. Yeah, there we go. The little lizard. About stepped on him. He was laying on the trail. Super cool. So yeah, there's lots to see out here. Besides the snakes. Got all these rock formations that go all the way up. It's beautiful to look at, even if you aren't into finding snakes. But I'm into finding snakes, so we're going to see if we can find some more. There's one right there. That's funny. All right, let's see if we can see him. He's a baby. Unfortunately today, I forgot my flashlight, so he's not going to show up real well probably. Oh, there he flicked his tongue. That's neat. So yeah, he is not very big at all. I think there is. It's hard to see, but there is another one tucked in that crack back behind him. So there's at least two in there. So a lot of these rocks will, like that's what we talked about, they're getting ready to hibernate for the winter. It's getting cooler. They're hiding back in these cracks in these rocks. So pretty neat deal to be able to come out and see this. Now, I know I mentioned earlier the road is closed because of the migration. I don't know if I mentioned it correctly, but it's closed for car traffic. You can walk it. That's why we're out here on the road. It's okay to do that. But all these little cracks and things in the rock, a lot of times they will have snakes in them. Alright guys, this shows the difference in the patterns. This is a really young one. In fact, he's still, I think, I can't see, yeah. A lot of times when they're young, they'll have that yellow tip on their tail, and they'll wave that like a lure, just like if you were fishing. And they'll try to attract animals to come see that, thinking it's a worm, and that's when they get eaten. But you can see that this pattern on the baby ones or the juveniles is a lot different than on the adults. A lot of people see these and think, oh, it's a copperhead. Well, it's not a copperhead, it's a cottonmouth. And they're still beautiful, but as they get older, then as we looked at those ones earlier, they turn darker and lose a lot of that striping. So, beautiful little snakes. He is not even, well, about 2 hands length. He's a tiny little guy. You can see him there with that leaf. Alright, we're on a side trail off of Snake Road to go check out a cave that I know about. And we came across this little guy on the trail. So pretty cool to see how they're moving. Another young one. But again, all he's doing is trying to get away from us. He didn't want anything to do with us. We just happen to be going the same way. So we're going to go around him and let him do his snaky business. Alright guys, finally found a big cottonmouth. One of the bigger ones we found today. Pretty chunky. So you can see the difference. Again, still has a little bit of pattern on him, but compared to those juveniles, much darker. He's just chilling out here on the side of the hill. Alright guys, here we have a plain-bellied water snake. That's another species we haven't seen yet today. So, their scales on their body are what they call keeled. They're kind of raised and have lines on them. Helps them swim and push through the water. So he's checking me out. He's just keeping an eye on me to see what I'm doing, make sure I'm not going to bother him. And I'm not. We're here just to look at him, and I'm getting ready to move along and let him head back to the swamp or wherever he's going. He's just out here enjoying the last few rays of fall and warming up and ready to do snaky things. Okay guys, something else cool here on Snake Road. We just came across an armadillo. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get video of him, but these are an invasive species, which means they're not native. And they can really wreak havoc, I know, on property. They like to dig holes, but I think they're cool. So we got a picture of him, or a video here. So I just wanted to show you guys that. We've seen him around here quite a bit lately. He's hiding under the log. try and get away from me, but we're just gonna not bother him too much, but I would like to get a cool video of him if we can. There he is. There he is. Pretty cool. Guys, here's something neat. This one has just come up out of the swamp, and I don't know if it's coming through on video. I hope it is. He's got like the duckweed all over his back where he's been out in the swamp, so that's pretty neat. But this is a little bit bigger, cottonmouth, than what we've been seeing today. So again, he was coming out of the swamp. Let me show you here. The swamp is right over here. He'd come out of there, cross the road, and he's heading up towards the bluffs. Probably getting ready for a long winter's nap. So, beautiful snake. Again, he's just keeping an eye on me, see what I'm doing. So I'm going to back off and let him have his space. Alright, we've got another plain belly water snake. This one is not very big at all. He's a little guy. Bad thing, and that's why they closed this road. He is laying right in the middle of the road, hidden in some leaves. So it'd be very easy for somebody to be driving along and run over him not knowing he's here. So even when you're out here walking, we came pretty close stepping on him. You got to be careful and make sure you're watching where you're stepping, because you sure don't want to step on that poor little guy. He's just heading back towards the swamp. Okay guys, this is just to kind of show you how well the snakes can blend in. Let's zoom in. There he is. Just hanging out here. Oh, he did not like me doing that. I didn't even do anything, just moved a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, there's why they're often called cottonmouths. You can see the white inside his mouth looks like cotton. So that's how they get their name. Let me zoom out a little bit. But yeah, he's not happy. Didn't want me bothering him. And I'm not going to. There, he closed his mouth. But you'll see them like this a lot, with their head sticking up in the air like that. And just laying there soaking up the sun. So we're going to get out of his way and keep going. Alright guys, we have another species on our list today. This is a rat snake. I always like the way, they're so cool the way they get all kinked up. I don't know why they do that. I'm not that much of a snake expert, but I just love the way they do it. I think it is so cool. That's a good way to always tell a rat snake, because a lot of times they will do that. As you can see, a lot of times they'll get black. It's a black rat snake. They will lose that coloring as they get older. But he's still got a little bit of his juvenile pattern you can see down there. So, beautiful little snake.
Hey guys, we've just come across another black rat snake. If you notice, he's a lot longer than the one that we just saw crossing the road, and he's lost his juvenile pattern. So he's just out for the afternoon on trying to get some sunshine.
Alright guys, we found another armadillo. This is the second one of the day. He doesn't hear us for some. They say they have really poor eyesight, and maybe they have bad hearing, because he sure doesn't seem there, he figured it out. That's funny. So he's up here rooting around looking for something, not sure what, but digging him a hole. Alright guys, we have another species for the day. A ribbon snake. These guys are so little. They're smaller around even than your pencil. But they are pretty. I really like these guys. So, he's just chilling here on Snake Road. But very, very pretty. Just to give you an idea, if he'll stay, he may not, because I'm not going to touch him. Obviously, we can't do that. But there's my hand. There's one finger compared to him. He is not very big, but he sure is pretty. Alright, we're heading back to the truck. It's, what'd you say, Francie, about 4 o'clock? 3:30? Getting later on in the day. Almost back, but a nice little surprise on the way back. Beautiful little rough green. It's what we started the day with, I think, and maybe end it with it. As you can see, they'll pretend that they're a vine, like blowing in the breeze. Like you'll see them in bushes a lot, and they'll move their head like that to try to make you think, nothing to see here. I'm just a little branch blowing in the breeze. Doesn't work very good though when you're on the ground. So anyway, beautiful little snake. All right, guys, that brings us to the end of our virtual field trip. Hope you guys enjoyed it today. We're gonna have to go back and look for sure. I'm not exactly sure. We think 7 or 8 different species today. So, I mean, great day. Well over 20 snakes. I don't know how many for sure, but for, just half a day even, just a great day. One thing I didn't mention earlier, Snake Road. It's about 2.5 miles long between the gates. So 2.5 down, 2.5 back, and we took a little side trip. So we did at least probably 6 miles today walking. So great exercise. Remember, if you come out, do not handle the snakes, and there's nothing to be afraid of. They don't want to hurt you, so don't hurt them. All right? Again, hope everybody enjoyed the video today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.